You've got 3, maybe 4 million parts coming from countries across the globe.
Boeing's vision was they were going to be the assembler, the system integrator, pulling in parts from this global network of suppliers, and that Boeing would be able to, quote, snap together a 787 in 3 days.
This was without doubt the biggest challenge any aerospace manufacturer has ever undertaken.
Boeing had good reason to believe it could succeed. During World War II, airplane parts from all over the country were assembled under extreme deadline pressure into the most complex machine that had ever been built, the B-29 bomber. And during the Cold War, Boeing coordinated the work of Project Apollo's many contractors who were building the rocket and spacecraft that took the first humans to the moon. And over the last decade, Boeing has managed the assembly of the International Space Station, built by 16 different countries and put together while in orbit around the Earth.
Large systems integration is our unique advantage. Not many other companies in the world can take all of these technologies and put it into a system that performs safely and at the performance requirements that had been promised originally and can be replicated at high volumes. That's the hard part.
With a supply chain that was truly global, with far more responsibility in the hands of their suppliers than ever before, with untried methods of manufacturing, and a suite of new technologies on board, problems building the 787 were almost inevitable.
One in aerospace should only pick on so many different challenges. Today, I think they look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe we did as many different things to this aircraft.
Executing a project of such complexity proved to be more than some suppliers could handle. Wrinkles were found in the composite skins from one supplier. Fasteners were incorrectly secured on sections of the tail. There were gaps between units that were supposed to fit tightly together, and some sections arrived at the assembly facility unfinished.
We had our partners, and then they had partners who had partners, and the different cultures and the communication was very challenging and added a lot of complexity.
Boeing began to realize that they'd bitten off more than they could chew.
And it was not just the suppliers who were struggling. Just days before the scheduled first flight of the 787, Boeing discovered a flaw in its own design. Higher than expected stress, where the wing joined the fuselage, would force redesign work and further delays.
And with a tightly packed schedule that was absolutely delicate, once you get one disruption, it starts to cascade. So you had this chaos building.
The company's strategy to better manage the enormous expense of new airplane development was failing, and the Dreamliner was still far from a viable airplane.
Boeing had a combination of factors that was turning into a tidal wave that essentially overwhelmed the factory, and that's when the train came.